Welcome back to Canadian Justice, where we're talking about the controversial court challenges program, where the federal government pays activists to sue them using your money. Now, Aaron, there's sort of two streams in the court challenges program. One stream relates to this more historic language rights stream of cases, and then the other are human rights cases. What can you tell me? What type of cases might that entail? What charter rights are being litigated in that stream of cases?
Well, one of the things about what's notable here, Christine, is that if you're going to have a program about defending charter rights, why pick only two streams, right? There are many rights in the charter. Again, we come down to why this program is controversial in the first place. And I think it's the fact that it's very selective in the rights that it wants to subsidize people to litigate on. So if you're going to have a program that is defending rights, why not have one, for example, that allows people to defend the right to free speech or the right to practice their religion?
So those would be covered under the court challenges human rights stream. And then I think equality rights is another group of rights that are covered as well. But it's not everything. You're absolutely correct that you can't bring charter claims for, every protected ground under the charter. But the way the program operates that's interesting to me is it's a group of politically selected individuals who sit on an expert panel, and they choose which cases will actually get funding. Do we know, Ian, anything about the cases that are approved for funding? And if we don't know anything, why not?
Well, back when I first started working on this in the early 1990s, you could find out exactly what the Court Challenges program was funding and what it wasn't. So you could go through all of the funding decisions that they went through and see how, have an idea of how they were deciding which of the many cases that are launched each year deserved federal funding and which didn't. I think as a result of the research work that I was doing back then, this is 25 years ago now, the Court Challenges program stopped publishing and now refuses to publish the details of who they're funding and who they're not funding while the cases are going through the courts. So as a result, I think this is a serious problem for the renewal of the program, is the sort of the black hole of public money that's involved here, where you have a set of, as you say, expert panels, but they're appointed by the federal government, operating underneath a cloak of secrecy, using money secretly to support certain sides in court cases and certain sides not. Now, it's still possible if you scratch around a bit, you can tell the groups that are represented on the panel are the traditional social justice groups that you might see in the news on other issues. I think it's notable that we haven't found a single instance where the Court Challenges program was involved in any of the challenges during the pandemic on the big challenges to civil liberties and the big challenges to equality rights that arose during the course of all of the lockdowns and other COVID-era regulations. So, for example, the church groups who found that they were being discriminated against compared to casinos and commercial businesses, I haven't found a single case where there was a church group that got Court Challenges program money to assert their equality of religion under the charter. When in fact, but it looks like there's a whole slew of homeless groups and gender ideology groups and so forth that do have Court Challenges program support. And I think that's the kind of political choice the program makes that gets it into trouble. It gets it into trouble every time.
Yeah, so obviously I work at a charity that does civil rights, civil liberties litigation. We do not take money from the federal government through this Court Challenges program. Aaron, what do you think that says about the effectiveness of private public interest litigation organizations to actually do the job of holding government to account?
Well, it proves that it's possible. Your organization in particular is very effective at this. There's other groups like the Civil Liberties Association, many other groups that are able to raise money from interested parties to litigate these things. So it's not as if, the supporters of the Court Challenges program almost assert that if we don't have this program, these issues will never get before a court, but they will. And I think, ensuring that there's skin in the game from private participants, helps us ensure that it's not just a bunch of political appointees in a back room making a decision. Since these are political appointees, it will come as no surprise to people that they tend to reflect the political preferences of the government of the day. And so the types of cases that the government doesn't want to see challenged will not get challenged.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for the compliments, but yes, obviously we've had some extremely successful litigation as public interest litigants doing charter challenges without the need for a program like this. We don't need taxpayer dollars to do that type of work. We'll be right back.